The Western Heights are a massive fortification. They were built initially because of the threat of the French from Napoleon. So we have a period of building in the early part of the 19th century. There's a lot of building from that period, and it was barracks and gun platforms ready to thwart Napoleon should he invade. We reach 1815 and Waterloo, and the threat from France subsides. But then we go forward to the 1860s and another Napoleon arises. So there's further work up here in the 1860s to improve the site. We add some little bits on and just make it a modern Victorian fortification. A couple of Messerschmitts were actually shot down from guns placed on the Western Heights during the Battle of Britain in 1940. The Western Heights fortifications are the biggest Napoleonic fort in the country. It is absolutely huge. Dover Castle and its environs are 72 acres. It could fit inside the Western Heights about 2.5 times. It's a big site, and a lot of it is open to the public all year round. You can walk around the outside of the Drop Redoubt, through a lot of the ditches and around the perimeter of the fortification. The Drop Redoubt itself, you can gain access to that by contacting the Western Heights Preservation Society. We are happy to open up any time between the 1st of April and the 31st of October to allow access, and we'll take people round, tell them what's going on, and we can provide sort of an educational resource in that way. The Grand Shaft we can also open up. It's a brilliant place. We've done maths lessons in there, history lessons in there, so it's a great place to come along, and we will always facilitate a visit wherever we can. The Grand Shaft is a triple helix staircase, so basically you have a cylinder with 3 staircases lying on top of each other. That was to facilitate movement of troops from the Grand Shaft barracks, where about 1,000 troops were stationed, down to the seafront. So if there'd been an invasion on the seafront, we can move troops really quickly from one site down to the seafront to attack. If the Grand Shaft wasn't there, it's about 1.5 miles on chalk cliff path, so it's quite dangerous terrain. It's going to take a while to get 1,000 there. And we know that in 1895, the troops from the Grand Shaft barrack were told to muster in the Market Square in Dover. It took them 12.5 minutes to get from the barrack site down the Grand Shaft and down to the Market Square. So it's really quick, and it is a beautiful, beautiful piece of engineering. A redoubt is part of a bigger fortification that can hold its own, so it's within a much larger fortification, but it doesn't require the rest of the fortification to look after itself. So should the French have invaded, we can look after ourselves here, and we don't have to call back onto the rest of the Western Heights to come and save us. We have our own water supply, and we have 360-degree firing capacity. So the Caponier forms part of that, and it actually protrudes into the ditches that surround the redoubt. And from the Caponier, which is a self-contained little bit of the fort, we can fire up and down the ditches with either muskets or carronade, which are small cannon, at the French. And it will protect us and stop the French actually gaining access into the redoubt itself. The Western Heights Preservation Society works in conjunction with White Cliffs Countryside Partnership, which are also part of Up on the Downs. And not only are we looking to preserve the heritage up here, we're also working to preserve the wildlife and make sure that this very rare chalk grassland is at its best. So we've got lots of orchids, and during the summer we have twilight evenings up at the Drop Redoubt, where we have a moth trap in the forts and bat detectors. It's a great site for bats, it's a great site for moths and butterflies, and it's also great for wildflowers.